What does God want? That is the question that the person with the Godward heart is always asking. What does God want? What is God's will in this, in that, here, for my life? What is God's will in this equation? That is the question that the Godward heart is always asking. This is the distinguishing characteristic of true believers, is your concern for the will of God. Matthew 7. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Listen, but the one who does the will of my Father who's in heaven. How do I know who are the saved and the unsaved? The saved are those who do the will of the Father. In fact, Jesus said, this is the linchpin. This is what's going to determine if you believe him and his word, or if you don't. It's going to hinge on this. He says it in John 7, verse 17. If anyone's will is to do God's will, he will know whether my teaching is from God or whether I'm speaking on my own authority. Basically, he's saying if you truly want to do God's will, you're going to believe me and you're going to believe what I say and you're going to follow it. It all hinges on the will of God. And so I say for you, this is the thing, is your real desire to do God's will. That's what it all hinges on. And this is why James told us to seek God for wisdom. Out of the gate, that's what he said. James 1:5, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. If we seek God's wisdom, he will teach us his will. If we seek God's wisdom, he will teach us his will. Let me tell you what the Bible says about God's wisdom. Pay attention to this. This is good stuff. God's wisdom is true riches. In Proverbs chapter 8, all of Proverbs chapter 8 is about the wisdom of God. I'm going to take a few verses and share it with you. Take my instruction. This is God's wisdom speaking. Take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you may desire cannot compare with her. And look at verse 17. God's wisdom continuing to speak. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness in the paths of justice, granting, listen to this is such a good phrase, granting an inheritance to those who love me and filling their treasuries. He's speaking of the wealth and the riches of God being the wisdom of God.